Welcome back to State of the Nation. The Governors Forum are in Jos, the Plateau State capital, to condole with the people of Plateau State in the killings of about 100 people, mostly women and children, by herdsmen in 3 local government areas of Barkinladi, Riom and Jos South. Reprisals have also been reported, with some people stopping vehicles along the highway and having people killed. Very troubling situation. Can this be stopped before it gets worsened? Plateau State Commissioner for Information, Yakubu Datti, joins me via Skype from Jos. I want to thank you so much indeed for joining me at this time. Yakubu, what is the outcome of this condolence visit? Let's begin from there, by the Governors Forum.
Well, the Governors Forum came to show solidarity with the efforts being put on the ground by Governor Simon Lalong and the good people of Plateau State to restore Plateau to peace. Before then, we had visit by Vice President Yemi Osimejo, President Muhammadu Buhari himself, the President of the Senate, and by this evening we had the National Chairman of the All Progressive Party, Comrade Adams Oshomole. And what we're getting so far are some certain low-hanging fruits, which include a decision to establish a mobile barracks at Barkinladi, which is part of the epicenter of what is happening, and also the immediate supply of relief materials by NEMA to cushion the effect of human suffering that is beginning to take a toll on the people. We've also had a mobilization of security on the ground, including helicopters that are carrying out aerial surveillance and more men on the ground to carry out patrols. So far, we'll be able to curtail it. And also, Governor Simon Lalong, immediately it happened, also took a preemptive measure by declaring curfew in 3 local government areas, namely Riom, Barkinladi, and Jos South local government area. And as I speak with you from Jos now, the situation is gradually coming back to normalcy. And there's been a lot of confidence is being restored, especially with this solidarity visits that the Governor Simon Lalong is receiving across the nation.
If we are to backtrack, just go back a little to when Benue State, we had some killings there. It was the peak of it, with people, about 85 people were killed by herdsmen. The Plateau State governor said to Governor Orchim that the anti-open grazing law in Benue State was a bit too hasty, but later apologized. We understand that. Having gotten to this point of recorded deaths for the 2 states, is it possible that they, of course, including Nasarawa State, I'm trying to look at the whole Middle Belt area now, is it possible that they draw up a master plan against the killer herdsmen?
Well, to start with, Governor Simon Lalong assumed office, he was able to draw up a master plan for peace, and that has resulted to peace in the state for almost 3.5 years. So what happened just about over the weekend, last weekend, came to several of us as a surprise, because we had the 2 key tribes that had issues sitting together on the table and ironing out the way forward, which was even passed by the Plateau State Executive Council just a week before the unfortunate incident. So we believe that some of these conflicts may probably need a lot of investigation. And we're happy that the Police High Command have not only sent in men, they have also sent in a specialized anti-terrorist task force, which will also look at areas beyond what we are seeing, because the level of destructions and use of arms is actually beyond what we call the farmers herdsmen conflict that we are used to. And we're talking about communities that have lived for more than about 200 years from now. So we know that in this era of attacks, of terrorism, we believe that the police investigation will eventually...
If you just give me a minute or two, let me bring in the Plateau State Police PRO, Yopev Matthias. He joins me via telephone now, while we're still having the Information Commissioner on standby on Skype. Mr. Matthias, you know, a lot of questions are still being thrown up concerning this latest killings that we hear in Plateau State. First of all, we understand that you're back in the state because that complaint was reversed and you've been redeployed to Plateau State on the heels that you know the terrain better. But if you look at Birkin-Ladi, since you know the terrain, if you look at Birkin-Ladi and you look at Riom, especially those areas, vast piece of land, very likened to what we have in the Mambila Plateau, is this really about land grabbing? Yes, if you can hear me, I'm just asking you, because you have adequate knowledge of the terrain in just the Plateau State capital, and as a matter of fact, other local government areas, including Birkin-Ladi and Riom, which are the two of the areas that were hit by the killer herdsmen. Now, if you liken that to what you have in the Mambila Plateau, which is also a grazing field, is this really about land grabbing? Unfortunately, that line is not very clear. As soon as we have it cleared up, we'll talk to the Plateau State Police PRO, Yopev Matthias. But let's get back to you, the Commissioner for Information, Mr. Datti. If we have to look at a comparative analysis, can we confidently say that this is about land grabbing if you have to look at the Mambila Plateau and you have to look at the Jos Plateau on the one hand?
Well, the land grabbing is also part of the issue, and it was clearly raised when the presidency visited, because there's been complaints of whenever there are attacks, there's always a shift to accommodate, to take over some of the land, which is actually one of the issues that was raised by Governor Simon Lalong when President Buhari visited. So, and there was also an agreement that that issue should be looked at, because we are also talking about people who have been living, have their ancestral land being taken away by some of these invading herdsmen. So that issue has to be addressed. And also but basically is to create room for each other, because we are talking about two communities that have been living together for long. And like we had quite a number of stories which also shows that there must have been a lot of external influence in this, because we had a case of where one of the Fulanis hid most of the Biron people in the mosque and protected them from attack. So you begin to see that there may be some external forces that are aggravating this situation. And we believe with deeper investigation, we'll be able to get to the root of the matter.
Okay, let me put you on pause again for a second time, if you pardon me, and get back to the Plateau State Police PRO, Yopev Matthias. I hope that you can hear me clearly now. I was just asking you because a lot of people are concerned that if it is there are claims of ethnic cleansing and also land grabbing as part of the reasons why this is happening, all those killings that we've recorded, both in Plateau State and also in Numan in Adamawa State. Tell us, is this really about land grabbing?
We want to put the cart before the horse. Why? Because investigation is on. Immediately this happened, the Inspector General of Police decided that he would send no less an officer than the Deputy Inspector General of Police, Joshak Kabila, who is in charge of operations, to come and investigate. And when he arrived, he moved straight into the villages to have a certain information of what has happened.
Oh, I must thank you so much indeed. Unfortunately, that's where we're going to have to let it go. Yopev Matthias, the Plateau State Police PRO, for talking to us, although we didn't have that clarity of audio. We do sincerely apologize, as well as Yakubu Datti, the Commissioner for Information. Plateau State, thank you so much indeed for talking to us. And also to you for watching. Thank you for watching. I'm Gimba Umar, and this is State of the Nation. See you next time for a fresh package. Bye for now.